Got a Fox News alert moments ago. Another bus filled with migrants arrived here in New York City at the Port Authority as Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to bus them out of Texas, heading for New York or to D.C. And it's not just New York. Our next guest says, quote, Joe Biden's failures can be found right in your backyard as buses with migrants are stopping in Tennessee. Here with more, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so we've heard these stories about how apparently a number of these buses have been heading for the big northeastern corridor cities, and the people on the bus are demanding that they stop in Tennessee. What are you hearing?
What we have heard is that they are threatening the drivers from time to time, and they're wanting to get to where their friends are. See, they look at this, Steve, as safe passage, if you will, across the country, because they're being given that free bus ride to wherever they want to go. And, of course, the sanctuary city policies that many cities across the country have, these large big blue cities, not Chattanooga, but they have set up, the cartels have been free to kind of set up shop, if you will. They have their hubs. That's where your gangs are located. That's where the sex trafficking operations are located. And many times these mostly young men want to get off the bus and they'll find somewhere close. They'll get off and then they'll fly on or drive on to where they want to get to where their friends are, because their friends, you know, word travels, and their friends have said, hey, you need to come here and then we'll pick you up, we'll get you there. Right. It's interesting how this is sure. working with these that are coming across the border. And when you look at the numbers and where they are going, and then you talk to local law enforcement and they say, hey, we know the drugs into our community are coming out of Detroit or Atlanta or Chicago or wherever. They can tell you where these drug dealers and sex traffickers and these gang leaders are all working.
Right. Well, you know, the way you've described it is different than what we have been led to believe. You know, when people are starting to be processed, they come over the border illegally, and then our federal agents process them. They say, do you have somebody like a relative or somebody who will sponsor you? But you're depicting it as friends. And the suggestion you're making is that some of these friends might be working for cartels. So it makes it sound like some of these people are coming into the country to work for the cartels. That's kind of what I heard. Is that what you're saying?
You know, Steve, what we know is that when they come across the border, they have a bracelet that is put on them. And then that is more or less the way that the cartels are going to track them as they work out their debt. Many of them have that debt to work out. So getting to one of these hubs and working in whatever way, labor gangs, the sex trafficking, which to me, the way the women and children are being treated is just awful. And then going, and we look at cities where they're saying there's crime in the streets, crime has escalated. You look at the crime rates in New York, and these sanctuary city mayors who are now complaining, they should be talking to Joe Biden. This is his policy that has caused this. And they have basically rolled out the welcome mat, said we're going to be a sanctuary city, give benefits, voting rights, privileges of citizenship.
We've got a soundbite of somebody who works at a McDonald's there in your state of Tennessee. And apparently some of these people off the bus, panhandling aggressively, they had to call the cops. Watch this.
And the two young ones kept on going from here to over there to the gas stations, just trying to get money from people saying they got dropped off and they're trying to get to the airport to go to Florida. Had to get the police to, you know, remove them from the premises.
You know, Senator, we'd heard that the buses were going from New York, from Texas to New York or Texas to D.C. Along the way, obviously, there are a lot of people stopping and getting off the bus.
That's right. And then they go to the airport, they get on a plane, and they fly to wherever they're going. We know that this is happening. It has been reported. People are seeing them on the streets. There are some public disturbances. And what people are saying, until we secure that southern border, every town's a border town, every state is a border state. We need to end this and allow our southern border to be secured and give these governors the ability to secure these communities across the southern border.
Senator, thank you very much for joining us today from Nashville.
You got it. Take care.